Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. We are here today at Summit Point in the GR86. This is perhaps my favorite and perhaps my most successful combination on iRacing. I've had plenty of wins here, plenty of podiums, but can I do it today? Well, there's only one way to find out as we head to the start now for a race that is jam-packed full of action. And now I hope you guys do enjoy, and if you do, make sure you go down below, hit the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to join my Discord linked below. But now, without further ado, let's head to the cockpit. Alright, here we are in the cockpit getting ready to go, and the leader is off. Jay Elliston is off. We are underway around the final corner, heading onto the main straight to cross the line and officially begin this GR86 race at Summit Point. We qualified P5, and we are currently in P5. So let's see what we can do from here. We're in a good spot, gaining 37 I rating for our position at the moment, so it's looking good. So hopefully we can maintain, if not gain more positions. But let's see what we can do. As you can see in the top left, we qualified, well, the qualifying itself was pretty darn tight between P3 and 6, so it is going to be tight throughout this race. I think P1 and 2 might pull away, but the rest of us, no, we are going to be battling it out as we are on the back of Mottram here, looking for a move, but there's no way to get past in that quick right-hander there. That's only asking for disaster if you go for a move there. So we're going to sit behind Mottram at the moment, but we know we have good pace, and I believe in practice prior to qualifying we did actually do a 20, so I think we do have the pace to get around these guys and even battle for a win, which would be absolutely incredible in a 2k strength of field, by the way, with 4.5k being the highest rated driver. And we're going to look for a lunge around the outside. We're not quite going to get it done. We have Barnes behind us, chasing behind, close behind, but we are sticking with Mottram and Norman here as we head through the right and then into the left here, and now we head around that corner onto the short little straight before the final corner. But we look, or we cut to the leaders who are right on each other's tails. Are they going to be able to get the move? Elliston leading the way as they head down the main straight. Elliston goes defensive. They're side by side down the straight, crossing the line neck and neck, heading into T1. What are they going to do here? Are they going to be able to make a move around the outside of Elliston? They're going to break very equally on point, but he's going to make the switch back on Elliston, and he seems to have gotten the move done. Elliston is dropped to P2, but now they are super tight indeed as they're chasing each other into the next quick left-hander. Elliston's going to look for a move, and he goes for it, but they've made contact on entry. The red car goes wide. Elliston stays on track, but he weaves back on netcode, and they are both spinning off into the trees on the outside of the track. That is absolute tragedy for the leaders, but that has allowed myself, Mottram, Norman and Barnes to move up 2 positions each. But sadly, because I got overtaken by Barnes into T1, we have only gained 1 place. We're in P4 now, but now we really honestly do have a genuine chance at a win here. But can we pull it off? Can we keep it clean? Can we maintain our pace and rise to that first position? Only time will tell, as we do have O behind as well, who is pretty darn quick. I mean, at the moment his best laps are 21.2, but with us battling up in front, he is bound to gain on us and look to maybe even get some moves on us. But as we look to overtake Barnes, he's gone to the inside. There's nowhere we can go, so we're going to sit behind him. As we can see, Norman on the outside, so we're going to get boxed in here if we went for that early move. So no, we're going to sit behind him for now. Maybe Barnes runs it deep, but he does not. He keeps it nice, clean and tight, so we are still stuck in P4 behind the 1.9k, 1.7 and 2k drivers. So let's see what we can do from here then, though. It's getting tight. We all have very similar pace, incredibly similar pace in fact, so it's going to be down to who can keep the car out of the wall, who can keep the car on the track in the right direction and avoid the little mistakes that costs drivers races. As Norman makes a little mistake, they're running it a bit deep, but I think Mottram did as well. So now that has allowed them all to close right in on each other's tails. But look at us, we are getting held up in the process, not being able to run our race. So O is catching up behind. He's only 0.6, and Pansidis and Elliston, the leader, who did manage to keep going, is 4.4 behind. So they're going to be closing in as we continue to battle it out. We're on lap 4, so we have 7 or 8 laps, 8 laps I believe, to go. So this could get incredibly tight by the end of the race. But now we continue to sit behind Barnes. He's pulled a little bit of a gap, but I'm not too worried, as I know they're going to be fighting. But O, on the other hand, is 0.5 behind, who I am worried about because I do not want to get caught off guard by him. But now look, there's a little bit of contact as we rear end Barnes because Mottram went to the inside, Norman went to the outside, and there was a bit of a concertina effect into T1. Luckily, all parties managed to get away from it without damage, but this could, well, this is a bit of foreshadowing for the future chaos that I assume is going to erupt as we run it a little bit wide, allowing O to get onto our tail. But look at Mottram going for the move on Naumann. Is he going to get it? No, he's not. He's forced to sit behind him for now, but the battle continues to rage as O is right on our tail now, and you can see even the drivers behind him. I think it was Panzidis is close behind with Elliston shortly after. And just look how tight these GR86 races are. This is what I love about the series, the tight pack racing, because the slipstream isn't super strong. You're able, it's purely based on pace really, but if you fight someone, it is so easy to keep close in a pack during a battle, which I absolutely love. But now we ride on board with Barnes here as he can visually see both Mottram and Norman in front. But now we look to the two leaders as they're going into T1. Mottram to the outside, Norman on the inside. Is Mottram going to try his luck with a lunge around the outside? He is going to try it, but he's not going to be able to pull it off as we now swap to the camera of Barnes. We follow him through as Mottram has been forced a little bit wide, allowing Barnes a chance around the outside into this quick corner, but it's going to be tight. It is going to be incredibly tight. And look at us on the inside of Barnes. Are we going to get the move done instead? And yes, we are. And we've just moved up into P3. What an opportunistic move there. But look, O has even got past Barnes as well. And just like that, he's fallen 2 places into P5. It just shows how tight these battles are and how quickly things can change for you, as we have O all over our tail. But now we're following Mottram once again as he hunts down Norman, wanting that first place position, as all of us do, I can imagine. He continues to pile on the pressure, but now we have O and Barnes piling the pressure onto us. So let's see what we can do here as we head down the short straight before the main straight, before the final tricky corner, which if you get it wrong, you run it severely wide, as we have missed the apex ever so slightly there, which is going to allow O an incredible run down the straight. We are going to somewhat go defensive. We know we're not. Now we are actually. We are going to go defensive. We're trying to hold our P3 position. We want this podium at a minimum. But O is going to look for it around the outside. We're going to break into the first corner. We've run it deep, but O isn't able to get the move done. In fact, we have slightly, ever so slightly forced him wide, which has allowed Barnes into the mix once again. He gets past O, and he's on our outside now as we head once more into the left-hander where we overtook Barnes a lap earlier. We're going to be able to hold onto our position for now, but because we're slow, our line was compromised. O is going to try a move around the outside through the quick right-hander. Is he going to be able to get the move done? We're going to break pretty late, but he manages to break even later and still get his car turned, and he's still there. No, we do not hold on to the position. O manages to slip on past, but boy, what a battle that was. From going and getting attacked from Barnes to maintaining that position, but then having our line compromised with O then chasing us down and getting moved on. Man, that was intense, and that was seriously crazy good racing. You can even see we have lost time to Mottram and Norman in front because of that little scuffle between the three of us there. But this is just what I'm talking about. This is exactly the fun, the excitement, the battles that the GR86 series, the GR Butt Kicker Cup can have. But now we're going to make a little dummy to the inside. As you can see, O moves ever so slightly there, which just forces him to run it deep. And we're going to look to get a little bit of a switchback here. We're on his outside. We're up along his rear tyre. Are we possibly going to be able to get a lunge around the outside? of this left-hander. We're not quite close enough, so we're going to brake a little bit early. I can't quite see the corner, so I don't exactly get the best run, but we survived to live another day. But you can see into T1 how just that little feint, that little dummy, even though you're never planning to go for it, just how effective it can be in throwing the driver in front off and forcing them into a mistake, as it did there. We had a little sniff because of that mistake by O from our dummy, but sadly we could not capitalize. We did not have the pace, we did not have the exit, and he manages to maintain that third place position. But now we have Panzidis 0.5 behind, Ellison 0.8 behind, Barnes 1 second behind. This is going to get tight. We're heading on to lap 9 now, which means there's about 4 to go, I believe. So this is going to get hectic. But let's see what we can do now as we chase down O on the straight, trying to make use of any little amount of slipstream that we can possibly get. But are we going to be able to get back past him and get that podium position once more? I'm not so sure, but O runs it almost a little bit deeper once again, and look at our T1. That was exquisite, and we are right on his gearbox now. We're not going to go for a move here, but we're going to try, pile on the pressure, get a good exit, slow in, fast out. That is what we're trying to do here, to maybe get a run in, but we can't. Because of that braking earlier, I do think the slow in, fast out doesn't quite work for that corner there, especially if you're the car behind. But hopefully we will get a chance later. But now you can see O and I are gaining on Mottram and Norman. We're reeling them in because they're having a little bit of a squabble here and there, not as prominently as we were earlier, but still enough to force them into a slower pace than their usual hot lapping. So maybe we can capitalize on that. As you can see, we are now 0.7 behind Mottram, 1.3 behind the leader Norman. Are we going to be able to capitalize? Only time will tell as we head through the final corner. We get it pretty decent, maybe running it a little bit wide, but it's not too bad. We have Panzidis 0.8 behind and Ellison 1 second behind. So with only 4 laps to go, or 3 now, it's going to get close. It really is. But now we head into T1 once more. As we head to the TV cam, you can see Panzidis and Ellison are battling behind. Ellison going for the move, I believe, as we almost hit the back of Mottram there. But we managed to maintain it, and O is going for a move down the inside of Mottram into this left-hander now. We are maybe looking for a move as well. Are we going to be able to get a lunge? Yes, we are. We've gone for it down the inside of Mottram. We're going to be side by side, and we get the position, and we're just like that. We're up into P3, almost a carbon copy of what we did on Barnes. Him being slow out of T1, allowing us to capitalize and make a lunge down the inside into that quick left-hander. But we make a little mistake at the hairpin, which is going to allow Elliston, who has actually managed to get past both Panzidis and Mottram, who must have made a mistake. I think he ran wide, which forced him into a slower pace. But now we have Elliston, the pole sitter, the pole position driver, on our tail. And boy, is he going to be quick. He's done a 20.8 this race so far. We have done a 21 flat, and he is on our tail as we are about to begin the final lap of the race. So here we go. He's all over our tail. He's looking for a move. We're going to go defensive. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to try force us into a mistake. You can see how tight it is with the cars behind as well. Now we head into the braking zone, and we've ever so slightly tried to outbrake ourselves, and we've gone deep. We've run it deep, and just like that, we have been done by the move we did to the driver earlier. Well, I mean, this time he didn't exactly dummy it. He was going for the move. But just like that, our race has turned upside down. I mean, it's not terrible. We're still P4. But man, I thought I could hold on to P3. I thought I could finish on the podium. But Elliston has forced us into a mistake there. Forced us to brake, or try to brake later. And that made us go deep, almost off track. Luckily, we managed to keep it going forwards. But sadly, that has lost us that P3 position. But now we can't worry about him. We know he's going to pull away. But Panzidis, on the other hand, is 0.6 behind. So if we continue to make mistakes, there is most definitely a chance that he could reel us in as well. But now, here we go for the final corner. The final corner of the race. We managed to nail it, and we get around the corner, and just like that, we are going to finish P4. Man, that was annoying that we couldn't hold Ellison behind for that final lap. But it is what it is. And man, what a race that was. Now, I would say here are the results, but sadly, because this race is an archive race, so one from a while ago, I do not have those statistics at my disposal. But what I can say is that was epic. That was so fun, and that is what the GR86 series brings. So much pack racing, tight, usually decently clean. I mean, you do pick up quite a few incidents for like body-to-body contact, but mostly it is really fun and such a good series to race. So if you're interested, make sure you go and give them a try yourself. But now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I am trying to be a bit more consistent with my uploads once again, and hopefully more consistent with streaming as well. But now I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you go down below, hit the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to join my Discord linked down below. But now, I'll catch you all in the next one.